Hi, Arvin Pie. Happy Sunday. Here's Kirk.
Hi.
Kirk just wanted to drop in and say hi to all of you, and now he's going to disappear and probably make some more beer because we drank most of it today. So cheers to that, and cheers to everyone who came out today for yoga and chat. We had a great day today. So what we did today, for those of you who aren't in the Lower Mainland, you're not in Vancouver, Kirk and I actually hosted a bunch of people at our house today, and we were supposed to do yoga in the park, but the weather didn't cooperate quite so well. It had its own mindset in place. So we ended up just like lighting the fire pit, and we just chilled out with our friends, and we just had a really nice time just getting to know one another, introducing to some friends to some other friends. And talking about all their upcoming adventures, and there's some amazing adventures coming up from some of these people who are here today. One of them is leaving Canada and moving to the UK. She's moving to London. She has a fantastic job in Kensington, teaching some wonderful children, so it's going to be so exciting. I'm so excited for her. I can't wait for her to meet some of my London friends. So guys, if you're in London, please get in touch. I really want you to meet Rebecca. She's a lovely, lovely girl. I had the pleasure of spending an evening with her parents recently, who were like the sweetest people you've ever met. They were so nice. And they came out to a Vancouver Craft Beer Week event with Kirk and I, which if you've ever been to a beer week event with Kirk and I, it's like full on, just like running around, tasting beers, talking to people, talking to different brewers. And they were the sweetest people. We had the nicest evening. So I'm so glad we got to meet Rebecca's parents before she left and moved back to the UK. Our friend Steph is moving to New Zealand very soon, with a brief stop back in Scotland, spend some time with her family, which is fantastic. So we got to hear all about her trip plans. So yeah, it was really, really fun to spend some time today with those guys. But now, you know what, it's 9:20 p.m. on a Sunday evening, and here I am in my kitchen. My kitchen is ridiculously red. It's really, really red tonight for some reason, but we're actually going to paint it, so keep watching Siobhan Sundays, because eventually, okay, this is me being accountable to all of you, I'm actually going to paint our kitchen. It's not going to be red by Christmas. That's my goal. It's not going to be red. Red is like an angry color for me, and I'm ready to change that color. It's not going to be red. It's going to be peaceful. It's going to be calming. So yeah, so today, here I am. Okay, so cheers. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday for those of you who are watching this like tomorrow or later on in the week. So I hope you're having a great week. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's come up this week with a few of my friends, a few of my business partners, a few of my sideline partners. Yeah, so I want to talk to you about this. So hang on, I'm going to take a drink. Everyone else take a drink, please. It's Sunday evening. All right. So as many of you know, most of you probably don't know, my name is Siobhan. I'm based in Vancouver in British Columbia in Canada. And most of my team, a big chunk of my higher up team, my mentors, my leaders, my confidants, they've been wined and dined in Cannes in the south of France for the last week. And the pictures that have been coming out there, the stories, the videos. Okay, I have major FOMO right now. I'm so jealous. I mean, I was fortunate enough that I got to spend most of my vacations, most of my holidays when I was growing up in the south of France, visiting my grandparents who lived there. And I'm super fortunate for that. Like, it was the best time. I totally didn't appreciate it. I probably still don't fully appreciate the experience that I had being a kid. But now watching all of these pictures, watching all of these videos, hearing all these stories coming out of like my mentors, my business leaders, the people who I'm trying to emulate in some way and trying to catch up with, like I'm literally like running to catch you ladies and gentlemen. I'm in awe of the week you had. It is phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. And I'm not saying that's what we should all be striving for, but you know what, it totally put me like in a, okay, I want some of that. I want a little bit of that. I want to be able to achieve like a teeny tiny portion of that. And if you've been following along with our Instagram and our Facebook stories for the last week, you'll have seen some of the snippets I've been sharing with all of you, and by no means is that all of it. There's been so many more. From the day they arrived in Cannes to a private jetty dock on the beach for an all-white party, to the following day where they were taken to a private aircraft hangar and they had their own private couture fashion show with Christy Berkeley and her daughter, and various other supermodels came down and walked down in some of the most beautiful, beautiful outfits you've ever seen. And you know what? I probably will never ever wear an outfit like that, but I can dream. And that's what this business is about. It's about dreaming bigger, dreaming further, and running to make those dreams a reality. And I am so grateful for all of that team for sharing those experiences. They also went out on private yacht tours. They went to Monaco. They actually got to go to the Monte Carlo casino in Monaco and actually bet some money just because they could, and they could pretend to be James Bond for a few hours. Like, seriously, I mean, this was like a pretty luxe trip. They got given gifts every night. They got wined and dined. Like, seriously, they were treated like the rock stars that they are. And these are like the top 200 people in that company. And that company is in 3 countries. And they don't do parties by halves. Like, this was stunning. So yeah, I am struggling with FOMO this week, like big time. For those of you who don't know what FOMO is, it's like absolute envy. I'm like, I'm so jealous of these people. That's FOMO. But with that in mind, like, you know what? FOMO is great. Like, FOMO is like a real driver. It like definitely gives you momentum. It pushes you to be better, to strive for greatness. And, you know, it's fantastic. Like, you know, there is a reason we have FOMO, but also FOMO can have a negative side. The same way that social media can have a negative side. We have so much information available at any given moment that we're bombarded from all sides. And we forget that a lot of the information that we're given is a highlight reel. Like, it really is. Like, people are only showing the best bits. They're not showing the like rubbish bits. You know, they're not showing the fact they were delayed like 12 hours. You know, they tried to check into their room and they were put into a room that had like a leaky faucet and the bed was super uncomfortable and the sheets hadn't been cleaned. Like, no one shows that like on social media. They just show the incredible view from their hotel. They show the incredible party they went to, not the fact that they had to spend 4 hours in a line in 5-inch heels and they got there and they sank into the sand all day. Like, no one sees that. Like, no one wants to see that. So this kind of reminded me this last week that I was talking to a friend who I hadn't seen, I hadn't spoken to for 6 months, and I feel super guilty that we haven't spoken for 6 months. But you know what? We have one of those relationships where we can go a while and not see each other, and it's okay. Like, it's not perfect. Like, we totally should. And you know what? Hands up, Rosie, I am so sorry that we don't speak more often, and I know you probably feel the same as I do. That, you know what? Life gets involved, and we like, yeah, we'll talk next week, and then suddenly 5 weeks have passed and we haven't spoken. And it's neither of our fault. Life just happens, and we don't get to talk to each other as much as we want. But what we did realize when we finally spoke, and it's been months since we actually saw each other. We saw each other in November when the rugby was in town, and we caught up. And we finally spoke to each other this week just gone. And both of us realized that, you know, apart from like the odd social media posts, we hadn't really communicated properly. And we were like, okay, well, we have lots of excuses why. And these excuses are like, they're valid. Like, they're genuinely valid. Like, stuff happens, life happens, family happens, our extended family happens. But we've relied on social media to be our connector. And it wasn't until we physically spoke on Friday evening that we realized we had no idea what was going on in each other's lives, because we'd relied on the highlight reel that we show on social media. And I'm sure it's like many of you out there, what you show on social media is your desires. It's your curated lifestyle of what you want people to perceive to be your life. And quite often it's unintentional. I am definitely party to that. My friends think that I live like this glamorous lifestyle in Vancouver where I'm out running, I'm out skiing, I'm playing golf, I'm hanging out on the water. And in reality, I'm working 12, 13 hours a day and coming home and I'm studying and I'm drinking wine and talking to all of you. So, you know, there is this total disconnect between what people think your life is and what your actual life is day to day. And it really became apparent when I was talking to my friend the other day me just drink a glass of wine. That we've become super reliant on our social media feeds to connect us. And, I'm a full, culprit of this, that I've relied on my news feed on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and like LinkedIn, and that keeps me connected with people, or I feel like I'm connected with all these people. But the reality is I'm just seeing the highlights. I'm seeing the cliff notes, I'm seeing the headlines, but I'm not actually seeing everything that's going on day to day. And it kind of like drummed it home to me that there's nothing more important than making real connections with people and making regular connections with people. And that doesn't have to be picking up the phone. It doesn't have to be going for coffee, going for a drink, inviting people around for dinner. It can really, it can be as simple as sending someone a text message or sending them a postcard. So if you're one of my customers, keep your eye out for one of these. I apologize, just in my kitchen right now. But if we're going to get a card like this in the mail pretty soon, I apologize you haven't got it already. I apologize that you're seeing this on social media right now. But they are winging their way towards you. I'm just waiting for one more thing to go in the envelope, and then they're all coming out towards you. But I truly do appreciate all of my customers and all of my friends and family around the world, and I apologize for keeping in touch with you more often, more frequently. My only excuse is life happened, and and you get to see like a little snippet, and this week my life has been boring. I can't even say it's been crazy. It's just been boring. There's been nothing to talk about. So I felt like there's nothing to share. And I realized that for so many of my friends around the world, that's how you feel. There is nothing exciting to share. So you don't share. But what I've realized from living abroad for the last 9 years is that I like the boring. I want to hear what's gone on in the morning. I want to hear that you got stuck on the tube for 3 hours and you had to change lines 5 times. And, you got off the train, like my sister told me today. Oh, well, the train wouldn't go that way. So I had to get off, and I realized there's no lift, elevator, and there's only like a flight of stairs that's like this. She's carrying a pram, a stroller, with her 3.5-month-old, with her fiance. And the only way to get away from this station is to go up this flight of stairs like this, and then go down the other side to go on the platform to go back, to then take like an 1.5-hour detour. And I was like, I want to hear those things. Like, I totally want to hear those things, because you know what? It kind of gives me FOMO. Like, I'm jealous. You guys get to like deal with the tube every day, and it sounds ridiculous when you take the tube every day. I miss that kind of stuff. So please tell me your like mundane, boring things. Like, I got stuck in Waitrose and I hit stuck behind a woman who she wanted like 15 types of salami. I want to hear that. Like, I don't get to go to Waitrose anymore. Like, I miss Waitrose. I actually went last month, and my parents, like my mum and my sister, had dragged me out of Waitrose because I was so excited by the number of cheeses and the number of salamis, and I got like a little bit excited on it. But going back to what my conversation tonight was, so I've had major FOMO this last week. Okay, some of my uplines, my mentors, my business partners, they're all in Cannes, in South France, and I'm a little bit jealous, right? They're having these beautiful parties, like they're 5-star, like they're being treated like celebrities, which they are in our business. They are the celebrities, they are the rock stars of business. They should be wined and dined. And I'm having a little bit of FOMO. I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be treated to that. I want to sit in the White House in the south of France, not in Washington. I want to sit in the White House. I want to sit with a view of the ocean. And I want to be wined and dined and have like superstars singing to me and drinking champagne. Yeah, for sure I want that. But what's reminding me is like, I need to work for it. I need to work super hard. I need to like set myself my goals each week and nail those goals. And I'm not going to like turn it into this superstar business overnight. I need to put the work in every day. I need to put in what we call an income producing activity every single day. So that eventually that IPA, income producing activity, turns into results. Because if you put in the activity every single day, you're planting a teeny tiny seed. So it's like a farmer. So I heard this analogy from like a couple of different people. But, you know, a farmer, they till the land, they prep it, you know, they put the manure in, they put like the fertilizer in, they prep it all, they lay the seeds, and then every day they go out and they water those seeds. Every day the plants grow, they grow, they grow. Then eventually when it's harvest time, you know, you get fruit, you get vegetables, you get whatever it is you've been growing all the time, and you get a crop. Like, I mean, it's rewards, right, at that point. And so that's exactly what having a business is you have to plant all the seeds, you have to like keep watering all the seeds, and eventually they produce something. And it's the same with any kind of business that you're doing. It doesn't matter what kind of business it is, it takes time. And I think especially when you're in a social commerce business, you can often like think, oh, I need instant gratification because I'm on social commerce. So I'm using, you know, a social media format. And with anything in this modern age technology, we expect instant gratification. It doesn't always work that way. We still need, you know, actual solid relationships with people. So we need to make those regular contacts. We need to talk to people. We need to, and it doesn't have to be face to face. It doesn't always have to be on the phone, but you need to have those one-on-one conversations with people and chat to them and find out what they're up to, find out how their lives are going, because everybody's lives are not that highlight reel. Okay, we show that highlight reel because we want to show the best of how our lives are, but that's genuinely not how our lives are. You know, and I'm a full victim of that. Like, I will put on the best picture of my day or the best picture of my week or even the best picture of my month, and I won't qualify with when it happened. I'll just say, hey, you know, blah, 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 this happened, blah, blah, blah. And people assume that's what my day was, but actually I sat in my cubicle all day at work and looked at my computer and typed and argued with people on the phone, and that wasn't actually my life. So I'm a full person who does this. I'm not criticizing anybody. I am absolutely that person. But what we need to remember is we showcase our highlight reel. And that highlight reel is just a sneak peek of people's lives. It's not what they're actually going through. And this was truly highlighted when I spoke to my friend this weekend, when I realized that neither of us knew what had been going on for the last 5 months, 6 months in our lives. You know, and some major things had happened to both of us. And yet we both assumed that because of what we'd seen on social media that we'd both been posting, that our lives were completely different. So it's just a reminder, it's a wake-up call. It's not criticizing anybody, certainly not criticizing myself or my friend. It's just a reality check that is what's happening. So it's, don't believe everything you read on social media. Take it with like a little grain of salt, a little pinch of sand, whatever you want to call it, and remember that nothing replaces actual genuine connection with people. So go out there, talk to people, ask them questions, engage them in conversation. Don't just like a post. You know, we can all just like and scroll past, so we all do it. You know, we scroll. Well, like. Actually engage with it. Comment on it. Even if it says, oh my God, I love this. That is way more than just going like. It takes a bit of effort. So do it. You know, comment on the post. Engage with those people and build some real connections as we move forward in this industry, in this world. And yeah, talk to one another. And you know what? Maybe we won't have quite so much FOMO in life if we realize what's actually going on behind the scenes, because it's not always as perfect as it looks on the outside. So with that, I'm going to drink the rest of my wine. I'm probably going to crawl into bed right now because it's getting close to bedtime for me. I wish you all a fantastic and a successful week going forward. And I look forward to talking to all of you soon. And if you have any comments about how we can engage with people more, I'd love to hear them. So please throw them in the comments, share them. We all want to learn from one another. So any tips you have, the better. And cheers. And here is to an empowering week.